Well, let's talk to Richard McColl, who's been watching events unfold from Bogota. Well, first question, quite simply, why did he win?
Well, it's a very good question. Duque won because he's seen as a market-friendly economist with international experience. He's, of course, been in the American Development Bank for many years in Washington, D.C. He's an unknown quantity as well, and that played in his favor, but he's also supported and is the protege of the former president, Alvaro Uribe, who remains incredibly popular in Colombia to this day. So with Uribe's weight behind him, Duque kind of inherited a popularity. But at the same time, in Colombia, you have to say there's a stigma to anyone on the left wing, and Gustavo Petro has done unprecedented things in Colombian politics by getting this far and by winning 8 million votes in the runoff of the Colombian presidential elections. He's done something that no other left-wing politician has done. So you have to say that maybe something is happening in the psyche of Colombian voters, that no longer a left-wing politician is associated with the FARC. But at the same time, this stigma of left-wing runs very deep in Colombia, and there's the very real fear that Colombia would turn into a certain Venezuela should Petro have won.
Richard, the result does raise questions, does it not, about the future of the historic but very controversial peace deal with FARC rebels?
It's a tough time. Ivan Duque, the president-elect, is going to, well, he's promised, at one point he promises to shred the peace deal that was signed in 2016, bringing to an end 50-odd years of war with the FARC guerrillas. It'll be very difficult for him to shred this peace deal. He softened his tone in recent weeks to win over some of the center ground by saying that he would like to revisit and restructure parts of it. He says that this peace deal is giving prizes to criminals, but he won't be able to tear it up. What he will do is he can starve it. He can fail to act on various parts of it. He can fail to fund various parts of it, which will have the same end. So it's a very fragile situation. He won't make decisions or make statements that will send people back into the jungles and to rearm, because that would be, of course, very foolish. But at the same time, he will start putting pressure on these elements of society.
For ordinary people waking up after this result, what can they expect? Mr. Duque wants to cut taxes, doesn't he, and boost investment, raising money by shrinking the size of the state. Is that what we can expect?
Well, yes. I mean, of course, he's an internationalist. He'll be towing a pretty regular line on this. He says a smaller state, cutting taxes, promoting small businesses. He's written a book on the orange economy, of course, the creative side of things. He does approve wholly and extractivist economies. He says that Colombia needs to invest into further technology for its oil refineries and for coal mining. So it will be more of the same, very much so.
Richard, good to talk to you. Thank you very much. Richard McColl, live from Bogota.